Hello, I'm Charlotte Collins and welcome to the very first SheerLuxe show of 2025, which is hugely exciting. We start the year off with a bang. We are raiding the beauty cupboard of the legendary Val Garland. Plus, we see what the team have got planned for the year ahead in behind the scenes at the SheerLuxe office. But first, let me introduce our wonderful guests, founder of Isle of Paradise and Agony aunt, Jules Von Hep, and florist and model, Kasia Chinery. Welcome both.
Welcome.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I mean, is it too? There's a big debate always, isn't there, about when is too late to stop? No, when is too soon to stop saying that? When is too late to? Do you know what I mean?
I will happily say it into February. It doesn't bother me at all. Happy New Year, everyone.
Isn't it?
This is true.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Obviously, January is the time that people make New Year's resolutions. So we thought we'd ask you about yours. But Jules, you're anti the word resolutions, is that right?
Yes. Yes, I am. Resolutions, I think, is very much deemed as something that you want to change about yourself. It's a problem that you want to resolve. So instantly, you're starting the new year in a place of, well, who I am isn't good enough. What can I change? I personally believe it's all about goals, working towards something, setting something that you can achieve, and therefore you start crossing things off that list and vibing high.
Vibing high.
Vibing
okay,
high.
so what is on your goal list then for 2025?
So I actually do 25 goals for 2025,
Ooh,
and they
love.
range from really easy, like one of them is sorting the mugs out. Oh, we're in a mess with the mugs. I won't go into it, but it is just not the vibe that I want to
dramatic.
get to.
Okay.
To really high, where it can be anything like move house, get married, get engaged, like the big stuff that's actually really hard to do.
Okay.
I think so much time and energy can be put into the really hard ones, but actually that is only 5 or 6 goals for the whole year. You may as well keep yourself up and productive as well.
Yeah.
I love fitness goals. One of mine last year was to do 10K, run 10K.
Okay.
Did that and then ended up running a half marathon. Like, you just have to keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, and maybe those are more like tangible things as well.
Yeah.
When you put them as goals rather than general sort of must be better at X resolutions. Kasia, what about you? Any resolutions, goals?
I agree with Jules. Sometimes it's like this, you start off the year with this negative view of yourself, and also we're always being told to self-improve, like on this journey of self-improvement. So I think if you are going to set goals or resolutions, they do need to be realistic. So my first one is to stop eating dairy.
Okay.
And we're on day 3.
How's it going?
So it's going well, day
Great.
3.
Is that because it doesn't agree with you?
I just think my skin doesn't like it, and I think this year my goal, which feeds into my bigger goal, is this year I really want to take my health seriously. So even though I'm quite a small girl, I'm not necessarily like, I don't want to lose weight or anything, but I just want to look after myself a little bit more. So yes, to quit dairy and to get off my phone.
Yeah.
I need to get off my phone. I need to stop scrolling.
Yeah.
I love to read. I usually read quite prolifically. And the last year, I just haven't been able to do that because I'm just too much on scrolling. I need to stop doom scrolling. Like sometimes I find that I think about these videos that I've been watching and I'm like, why is my brain?
Yeah.
Why is this taking space in my brain?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this like Instagram reel I saw and I'm like, I need to get off my phone.
Yeah.
So they're my 2 goals for this year.
That's
Just
really
put your phone
nice.
in a drawer.
I need to put
Phone
my
in the
phone
drawer.
Do you do
lock
that?
it away. Yeah, I did it on
Yeah.
Sunday.
I need
If
to
I
do
need a
it.
tech rest, phone in the drawer, put it in the drawer, and I just don't look at it all day.
Really, for a whole day?
For a
do
whole
that?
day,
Yeah.
if my brain's feeling like that, if I'm like focusing on,
Overwhelmed,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, that Instagram reel, no.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
it's
what life is about.
And why should that be taking space in my brain? I also find it, this is also on a bit of a tangent, but we're so contactable now, aren't we?
Yeah.
So like emails, WhatsApp, and because of my job, a lot of people will WhatsApp me, and I'm like, I find it also overwhelming. So yeah, I think I want to be a bit more having a tech rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you're, like where you're at in life. Because I remember last year, and actually the year before, being like, kind of in your, or not even making goals. I was like, I'm not making any resolutions. I just want I was kind of into that whole like, January is the hibernating time of year. And like if you follow kind of seasons, it's a really weird time for kind of rebirth and renewal. Actually, it's the time to kind of hunker down and look after yourself and then worry about that in September or spring or whatever. But then this year, I'm a bit like you, I've got quite a lot of health goals. So I feel like, I feel actually really kind of energized by making resolutions and goals or whatever you want to call them. I feel like I really need that kind of the self-improvement stuff. Yeah, because I need the structure and there are things that have been weighing on my mind that I'd like to do anyway, and sort of January is the best time to crack on with them. So
But also, they don't all have to start in Jan.
Also true.
Definitely.
You can start one that will lead on to something else. Like both of you have spoken, like a focus is your health and health is wealth. But if something goes wrong in January, that's not you off the wagon forever.
You can't beat
so
yourself
true.
up.
You can't beat yourself up.
Absolutely.
You can go back in Feb. I always say, like, never join a gym in Jan.
Yeah.
Never
No.
start working out in
So
January
true.
because you just won't keep it up. Start in Feb or March,
Yeah.
and then you'll keep going.
That's so true. Dry Jan, either of you?
I'm trying.
What does that mean? Have you succeeded so far?
I'm 3 days in.
Okay. You
No,
also
I've just
start-
been on
you start your
holiday.
January very
I've
late.
just been on a holiday.
Right.
So to be fair, my New Year started like 3 days ago.
Okay.
But the thing is,
Love that for
I
you.
find it like it's like not drinking. I think it's good to not drink, obviously, do a dry Jan. But I don't want to make a statement about it because I feel like once you say it to people, like when I was on holiday, I said it to someone, they were like, are you sure? Like, you sure you don't want to drink?
You're
And I was
like,
like, no, I don't want a drink. Like, we're so pressured.
Yeah.
We live in such a drinking culture society, don't we? So I feel like I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to, I mean, I've just said it now.
Yeah. You're gonna shout
On the
about it.
SheerLuxe show, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to make
Broadcast
a
to all your
statement about
fans.
it. Yeah.
Understood. Jules?
Don't be ridiculous.
Not for you.
The grimmest month ever. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that
not doing
is
any
the
of
thing.
that.
You know what, Daisy
I'll
and
drink
I-
less, but it's
Okay,
going to be
fine.
damp. God,
Damn.
yeah.
Daisy in our office yesterday was saying, like, you know, don't do it yourself because, like, life's about the small joys and, like, you know,
Yeah.
just if you want it to. And I was like, but if I just followed every whim of a small joy, I would have like pizza for breakfast, and like there would be no limit. So I have to put some boundaries in.
Yeah, I have to. Like it's been a heavy 3 weeks of drinking.
Yeah, I would say it's been a heavy like 4 months. So.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. All right, now time for a bit of beauty inspo. The much celebrated makeup artist Val Garland, who has painted the faces of everyone from Lady Gaga to Kate Blanchett, and is also the much loved host of Glow Up, is letting us into her home for a peek into her beauty stash.
Hello and welcome to today's SheerLuxe podcast.
I binge watched The Diplomat, which is one of the best things I've watched last year. Have you seen it?
Something before
Have you actually watched it?
Yeah. You're doing dry January.
I'm going to go dry until my holiday.
I am doing drier because
Damp Chan, that's what we call it.
products that you love.
The Westman Atelier concealer is life-changing.
Is it?
It is incredible. It's high coverage. It's incredible.
Hi SheerLuxe, I'm Val Garland and today I'm going to show you my beauty stash. Come with me, come on in. This is where it all happens. Everything in here, I know where all my products are. Neon, Tom Ford, I've got L'Oreal there, Lancome, MAC, Charlotte Tilbury. So I can open any of these boxes and know exactly where to find everything. At the moment, I'm working on a story that I've got coming up. It's basically about lips. I'm trying to work out what lip shape to do. I know that sounds mad. So this is my sort of little melting pot at the moment. That's my kit. This is a great bag, my Kitco. What I like about this bag, A, is it's sturdy. The one thing about a set bag for a makeup artist is you can never find what you're looking for. It's always at the bottom. That's why I like bags like this. This is ridiculous, but that's about, and that is honestly about the amount of brushes I would use in one sitting on one person. Okay, let's go from here. We're now going to go into, now this is where I get ready. I love perfume. I'm obsessed with Portrait of a Lady. I wear that all the time. I'm so obsessed with Portrait of a Lady that I've got the hair mist, the shower mist. I've tried every Comme des Garçons perfume. At the moment, I'm quite liking Concrete. That's really good. I've been recently trying some new perfumes. There's this one by Harmony, and it's got saffron, rose, and laurel in it. And just look at that bottle. I love Fornasetti. I love Fornasetti everything. You can tell. Oh, I work with Nick Knight, and he always used to shoot on 10x8 Polaroid. Everything in the picture he could see. He could see downy hair, you know, if the eyeliner wasn't quite right. Every bit of powder, he would pick it up on his film. So I started using a magnifying glass so I could make sure that my makeup was perfect without retouching. That's how the magnifying glass came around. what about him? Now, I found this an antique store in Chipping Norton, and I thought, won't that be amazing? In front of a tie. I think I'm going to wear that on the next season of Glow Up. Maybe I might just sort of perch it on my shoulder. Have you met Sunny Delight? I saw Sunny Delight in an antique store on Chamberlain Road in London. I called up my PA and said, look, there's this sort of like mannequin in the window. Do you think I should buy it? And she drove past and said, absolutely not. So of course, Sunny Delight had to come home with me. You know, he gets dressed up in various guises all of the time. Today he's wearing some Vicky Sarge crowns. Everybody needs a little bit of Sunny Delight in their life. Now then, this is my cupboard where I keep all my products. Now, at the top of my skincare cupboard, we are in my bedroom. There is a lot of tape. What am I doing with this tape? Well, the tape started because we all have black cases, and when you're traveling all the time, all the black cases look the same. So I tape up my cases so that it says, this is validated. And I also used to use the tape because when the press started coming backstage at the shows, nobody knew where you were. It's a sea of makeup artists and hairdressers. So what I would do is I would put the tape on the front of my table all the way along so that the press would know where to come and find Val and her team. So that's how that started. It is not sex tape. Then we've got just a few copies of my book. I did this book a few years ago. You've got cleanser, serums, moisturizers, body lotions, eyelashes, eye serums, masks. I love current body anything. You can see that I'm ready to go with my current body. I don't think I'm obsessive. Some people might beg to differ. I like my glasses. I thought I'd have a change recently, and I've just got these ones from Specsavers. But what I like about them is they make me look very proper. Okay, what have we got on the table? Need more glasses. I'll use this little thing here. Now this is called Solar Wave. You can literally, it's so tiny that you can fit it in a bag, have it on a plane. Yes, you have to charge it, but that is a great little tool. What is in my makeup bag? Where to start? I always start off with a little bit of hyaluronic acid. I especially like the Revitalift from L'Oreal Paris. It's on a little roller, so you can just sort of like roll that across your under eye area, and it's just really cooling. Feels great. I usually keep that in the fridge. So we've got that. Okay, so I usually start off with, I do my eyes first. So I'm going to use a gel liner. This one's by MAC. You know, people say to me like, how do you make an eyeliner work? Bottom line is it's practice, practice, practice. And it all depends what kind of brush you use. When you've got a brush that's got longer hairs here, that means that your liner, your product will glide further. You won't get a gap in the product on your eyes. I use a waterproof pencil in my waterline. Why am I doing that? I've got no idea. It just looks better. When it comes to mascara, I am an obsessive, an absolute obsessive. Okay, for the drama, it's L'Oreal Paris, Panorama, amazing mascara. And then I've recently just found this one, Firework, which is fantastic. It's got a great brush. I love that. Then I go into my eyebrows. I've got no eyebrows, they're white. I've got the Glossier, this little nib pencil here. Then I use this product here, and it's called Air Brow. I've been using that for some time. I really like that. Okay, let's talk eyeshadow. I'm using Boots number 7 because it's not black, it's navy. I just feel like it's a cold colour, but it's just a little bit softer. I love that. Before I put on any lip, I'll use By Terry, the Rose Balm, because it smells delicious. I tend not to use foundation, I use concealer. My two favourites at the moment, in fact I've got three. The current favourite is, it's a by Terry. It's got hyaluronic acid in it, and I just dot it where I might need some coverage. That's my current favourite. I'm loving the Lancome, that's really amazing, and the Shiseido is fab. I do this thing with concealer. It's what I call a facelift. I pop the concealer here, so I'm lifting that area there. I pop it under where I've put my contour. You can see here at the corner of my mouth, it goes down there a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer in there. I'm just doing it on the one side, and I'm just going to pat that in and push that up. Now, that was just a very little subtle thing. I hope you can see what I believe I can see. What do you think? I finish everything off with a mist. I'm using Hourglass. It's just a very, very fine mist, and it just seals the deal. My favourite powder at the moment, it's a hyaluronic powder. It's by Terry. Oh! Now look at that. Look at that. My favourite powder ruined. I'm gonna have to get the Hoover out now. Right, so that's my makeup bag, but I am obsessed with my hair. You may not think it, but I am. So first of all, I used to be a hairdresser, and I colour my own hair. This is what I use. It's L'Oreal Paris, it's Preference. I've used this for years and years and years. I am 9.1. In this hat box here, I will blow dry it, and then I'll take this Babyliss hot brush and use that. Maybe the tong, but definitely a sponge roller. And I do all of that to end up looking like this. I know it's mad. So that's my hair. Let's put my rollers back down there. So in this cupboard here, sometimes I get dry skin, and I use this product here. It's called Skin Matters. I put this on before I go to bed, and those sort of like dry sunspots are really smooth in the morning. I'm all about moisture, oil. That's why I love This Works. I use This Works bath oil in my bath, and the dry leg oil is phenomenal. There's this product that I've been using from Australia called Alpha. Obviously I love that. We're down to the bottom. It's a moisturizer. I use it after a serum, but then Liquid Gold, I'm sold. It feels like water. I use this about 2 or 3 times a week. I just put it on at night and go to bed, and it just makes my skin look and feel plump and hydrated. Major. We all say it, use your sunscreen, but you've got to use sunscreen every day, even in the winter, and we know that I'm using that. I've got eye drops that I've gotten from Hong Kong. Their technology is just so far advanced, and they do sting a bit, but they make the eyes really blue-white. When I'm on the show, I've got no eyelashes at all. That's why I need a mascara like Panorama, but I also need a lash. Now the thing with lashes is we think, how do I put an eyelash on? First of all, you've got to look at the type of eyelash that you're buying. Make sure it will fit your eye. If it's too big, you get a pair of scissors and you cut them down. Now you always cut from the outer edge, not the inner edge. And then I just wiggle it. I just wiggle it into sort of like a circle. So I'm getting it more into the shape of your eyelid. Then using your tweezer in the center of the lash, press it in. I then take the other end of the tweezer man and I just press into the corner, the inner corner, and into the outer corner. And voila, you'll have lashes. Lashes of lashes. Obsessed with Sam McKnight's product, the Cool Girl Volume. This is a mousse. And then when my hair's looking a bit fluffy, I use Bedhead After Party. This is a fantastic product, an oldie but a goodie. Do you want to see what's in here? Here are some of my favourite outfits that I've worn on the show of Glow Up. I love this. I never ever want to part with this dress because it always looks so good. This is from Preen. Sarah Burton from McQueen gave me, well, she gave me 2 actually, of these beautiful suits, and they just never go out of fashion. I've got Vampire's Wife here. Amazing. I can't believe that we can't buy it anymore. Wore this on season 6 of the show. This is a Preen dress, but it just fits like a glove. Love it. This one is an original World's End jacket from Vivienne Westwood. This would be early 80s. Another jacket that Lee McQueen gave me. It's so fitted. It's absolutely beautiful. So thank you, SheerLuxe, for coming to see my beauty stash. But right now, it's time for me to go because I've got to glow.
Hodge has written ding dong. I can't say ding dong with a straight
Say
face.
it.
I can't.
Say it.
Ding dong.
Well,
Is that how she
right.
says it?
Yeah.
Who else says that? It's like Basil Brush or someone. Who is that?
It sounds really sexual.
It
doesn't
does,
it?
ding dong. Anyway,
And we're not angry at it.
but we
we're
like
not
it,
angry.
but we're into it. She's fab. She's amazing. We're going to move on and talk about. It was National Resignation Day yesterday, the day of the year where most people hand in their notice. Apparently, not most people, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what
I'm
I
with
mean.
you.
We got you.
Last week was National Divorce Day. This was National Resignation Day. Congratulations, we all survived National Divorce Day in this room.
Nice.
Great.
I'm going to text my husband.
Made
Heads
it.
up.
Time.
Yeah.
But National Resignation Day made us think about careers, career moves. Have either of you ever made a really rash career move?
I made such a mental decision when I was like 25. I was working in hospitality. I was working for Soho House for years, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm a bit lost. And I love history. Like, I'm a real history geek. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to university. So I was like, I'm going to be a mature student. So I applied and I got into Queen Mary, and it was such a random move for me.
Had you been to uni as an undergrad?
No,
Before?
no, I've never been to uni. And I was like, do you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go to uni. And half the reason I made this decision was because they had a really good exchange program. And I was like, I'm just going to use this as an excuse to go to like New York or something. And I got there and I was like the oldest person in the class. And it was like all 18-year-olds and me. No one spoke to me because I was obviously like the older girl. And I was like, I don't know if this is as fun as, I thought it was going to be actually. And I did like one term and I was like, I'm loving the lectures and the seminars, but I don't really want to do these essays. Like, this just isn't that fun. And I remember I went away for Christmas and I came back and I was like, this isn't for me. So I did one term and I was like, I'm going to be a florist now.
Did you? Where did the floristry come from?
I remember going to like, because when you quit uni, you have to like go and speak to like an advisor and they like try and convince you to stay. And I was like, I'm going to be a florist. And the guy was like, right, okay, how have you pivoted from doing...
Yeah, why floristry?
I don't know, I just sort of like it really spoke to me, and I knew I wanted to do something creative, but I knew I wasn't good at like designing or like putting pen to paper. And I've always been good with like actually working with my hands. And I was like, this academia is not for me.
It's not about the essay
I'm
writing.
going to go be a florist.
Okay. Well, it
So that
wasn't
was my rash
It led you to
move.
where you
and
are.
it has worked out, I
There
would
you go.
say. So
Yeah.
that was my crazy move.
Jules, what about
But it
you?
was all part of your path.
Absolutely.
It all was supposed to happen. And I think
Absolutely.
people overlook that a crazy career move, while it can seem like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Actually, in the long run, can make sense. Yes, I've made a crazy career move. I got wasted at a party and I flipped a coin and it landed on heads. And I said, if it lands on heads, I'm going to move to Australia and quit my job. And I did.
Oh,
and
you did it?
Yeah,
That's a
like
big move.
I think it was like 2 months later. I had to
Wow.
go in on the Monday. I was like, I'm leaving. Like,
Why?
I've
And you were
I've
like,
booked
well.
a one-way ticket and I'm going and I'm not going to I'm just going to go with it. And then, packed a suitcase, one-way ticket, went to Australia, didn't know anyone, and then landed a job in PR for magazines. And it just all worked out. It was amazing. But I think you just have to trust your gut and go with it.
Absolutely.
How long did you spend in Australia?
I was there for a year and then came back, and then it was so funny. I remember saying, one day I'll work back and forth from Australia. I know I'm going to do it. And then when I was doing spray tans, because that also was a crazy career move, I knew I didn't want to be at a desk, and then was like, oh my God, I'm going to try spray tanning. Someone had said they thought I'd be good. Turns out I'm really good. And then I started picking up work in Australia. So I'd get flown to Australia to do spray tans and back and travel back and forth. And then when Isle of Paradise launched, it launched in Australia.
Amazing.
And it all kind of worked out.
You manifested it.
I manifested, but it also kind of just, if I hadn't have flipped that coin, I don't think it'd have happened the way that it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always think with careers, so much time is spent focusing on this perceived ladder that we have to climb. And actually, if you don't want to climb that ladder, listen to what makes you happy, because you're going to do that every single day. You've got to get on that treadmill, you've got to get to work, you've got to sit in meetings with people. If you are not enjoying it, what are you doing? Why are you doing this in your life?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so hard for people as well to like discover their passion and find that thing that they're passionate about. And I think we're all in lucky positions where we kind of love what we do. Yeah. And I really do feel for people when where it's not that obvious to them, or they haven't been able to kind of take the path to that, because
takes a long time.
It does take a long time.
It does take a long time.
But it's also okay to change. It's okay to pivot and move into different things. And you can be in the industry that you like, but in the job that you don't like. You can move around in that sector. Like,
totally.
Annie Mac has an amazing podcast, Changes, and I think that is fascinating to listen to, because it's all about people through their life that have come across something that has made a massive change. And I think it happens to us all.
Yeah, people do. What's the best career move that you've made? I mean, like, maybe it is that moving to Australia or becoming a florist, but
flowers. I think when I did it, everyone was like, you know, if I had £1 for every time someone says to me, "What a lovely job," I would not need to work. It is lovely, but it's really hard work. Sure. And when you're first starting out, I was like, you know, when you first start out in flowers, you will do anything within that industry because you need to make a name, you need to make inroads and contacts that will get hired again. And I remember like being on these jobs and you're like, what am I doing with my life? This is absolutely nuts. Like, because when you work for other people as a florist, when you first start out, you'll get, you know, a time and location. You've got no idea what you're doing that day. You just turn up. You could be working for 2 hours. You could be working for 12. Like floristry is really hard work. And I think when I first did it, I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like it's really hard. But it has worked out and I'm glad. And I'm very fortunate now that I can work for myself. But yeah, I would say it is my rashest, but my best.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jules?
Starting Isle of Paradise, for sure, it was a massive risk to leave a stable job that I had at another beauty brand, but it was toxic. And I left with no job going after it. I was a PA to a client that I had in Belgravia, like literally walking her dogs, doing her shopping, and I was like, I know I've got this idea for a brand. I know I can do it. But it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, the chance that it might not work and my whole industry peers would watch me fail, that was really scary. And I said to myself, if it doesn't work, I'm going to retrain as a midwife. That was always my career that I would go to.
A big pivot.
Big change. Yeah. But it did work, but it is a risk, but it definitely was my best risk.
There's still time to be a midwife.
I think I would be great.
It's still an option.
Yeah.
if it all
Push,
fits
Brenda,
up.
Come on.
I love it. That's your audition.
What about you, babe?
Actually, I don't have any rash ones because I've been at SheerLuxe for 9 years this week.
Okay, cool.
She's OG.
But I'm an OG. But I actually almost think it's risky rather than rash. It was almost staying at SheerLuxe in the early days.
Yeah.
Like when I started here, it was so small and all I wanted to do was work in magazines. And it was, I got my job here thinking that would be a stepping stone into kind of more traditional media. But actually staying here and investing in this place. Yeah. You know, emotionally and time-wise, whatever, actually obviously ended up being the biggest payoff. So I think that's probably, as I say, not rash. Actually, I'll tell you one rash thing I did do I studied French at university and so did a year in France, and I was applying to jobs and I wrote to the New York Times saying that I wanted to work at the Wall Street Journal, and they replied and said, we are not the Wall Street Journal. We are not whatever, I got it wrong. We are not the Wall Street Journal, and I wanted to die. It was so. They were literally like, you have written to the wrong place. You can fuck off. So
I'm so happy I've heard that. That was so amazing.
It's literally email sending 101. Don't do that.
Undo the quick undo.
Literally delete, unsend. All right, next up, join the team during the first working week of the year, planning all the content for 2025. There is lots of strategy and a surprising amount of fun and energy for January. It's obviously the first week of Jan, so this is the point at which we kind of put the wheels in motion for kind of everything we're going to do. You know, we've kind of always had big ambitions. We've kind of
tick so many of those boxes last year, which is an amazing place to be. So I kind of need to sit back and think more blue sky than ever before. We have a senior team strategy day next week, which is often where we kind of, we hash out so many of the themes for the year, and generally the kind of big activations and the cool things that come and the big goals come from those conversations. So maybe let's come back to this. The abstract goal of being better, being bigger, amazing growth, continuing, to provide what we provide for our readers, for our audience, and continuing to have the engagement that we do. Those are kind of the constant goals. So there's all of that. It's more about the kind of, what are we going to do that makes an impact this year? That's what I'm interested in as well.
New year, new start, the sun is out. It feels a bit more positive today, doesn't it? We are about to have a meeting with Tamara, and we are going to be discussing how we can connect beauty schools. We're going to get some filming booked in, and we're going to get some more tutorials filmed for that audience.
Essentially, beauty school, you know all about it. It sits on YouTube.
Yes.
It's quick 4 or 5 minute videos with somebody.
And then are we interested in going for like influencer makeup artists?
Providing there's loads of tips, we can
educational.
Exactly, it's more about the education.
Welcome to the office. Oh my god, so nice to be in London. How are you?
We are off to film the podcast, Middle East podcast, but in London with Lulu, with Lulu and Maya.
Hi, we're here at SheerLuxe. We're about to start filming.
We're excited. We're gonna start with your outfits. We're gonna dive into new and noteworthy, like something that was like, oh my god, you have to. I've read this book that was insane. Welcome to the very first SheerLuxe Middle East podcast of the year, and we're here in the London studio.
Yay!
SheerLuxe
Is pregnant? Are you happy with this? Congratulations! How are you finding it?
Better now. December was a lot. It was a sticky month, but we're back on form.
So, we've got wonderful Toby in today, and we are strategising. You got the navy memo.
I know, right?
Morning.
Navy, black. I just missed the grey. Everything's pretty much from COS. So earrings are from COS, top is from COS, trousers from COS, boots are Whistles.
Lovely. I am wearing Russell and Bromley loafers, White Company cashmere sock. Steffin. These are great trousers. I love a wide leg. Oz roll neck. I'm wearing a Blase Milano blazer, and I'm wearing an Anina Bing jumper. Anyway, we'll leave it there.
We're just chatting about some 2025 goals. Quite nice in January just to reset a bit.
We really want to grow SL Man this year. That is a huge. We're super excited that Harvey's joined.
Yeah, lots of organic content, so stay tuned. Drop SL Man a follow on TikTok and Insta, and yeah, there's lots to come this year.
My name's Harvey James. I'm the associate editor now at SL Man. Previously in my career I've been modelling for about 11 years, and then in that time I started writing as a freelance writer. So that's how I ended up here. Got a meeting to talk about the SL Man shoots, which would be really exciting to get a good idea of the vision, of the aesthetic vision of SL Man. Getting stuck in.
What are your goals for this year? What are you guys working on?
We are just getting everything ready to go live and then launch today's email. And what we want to do is just make sure we're sort of pushing our deadlines a little earlier so that we're creating a good smooth process in the morning and just keeping on top of that. We're going to do that across all of our supplements.
I'm currently working on some news going live on Monday. The team's going to choose some of their favourite sale picks, so there's some really nice stuff in there. But how nice is that? Hanzaji is so good for bikinis, I think, especially if you're wanting like really nice comfortable swimwear as well.
My work goal is to write an introduction and not get any edits of my introduction.
Now you're not far off either. If you looked at your extras for what to do this weekend this morning, there was one edit in there.
Yay!
So Elle joined the sub-editing team sort of in earnest last year, and we spent a lot of last year building that up so that I will be freer to do more creative things. I think ultimately it's developing the business edition this year. So yeah, I guess supplements are maybe my focus for the year ahead.
I'm excited to get out there exploring, finding fantastic homes, maybe some celebrity homes.
Got a big year for SL Man this year, so really excited about doing lots of different takeovers and things for that. We've got an exciting one coming up next month, which I'm working on at the moment. On SL Man, I'm deputy editor, and it's one of my favourite things to work on. I've also got Harvey now. He's joined as associate editor, so just seeing how, actually having a sort of bloke in the office will help to sort of elevate and expand the content we can do for it.
One thing that we are working on is our next EIR rewards email, which will go out at the end of the month, and I personally am buzzing. There is a 4th film coming out in February of something.
Can I tell you about a really interesting meeting we just had?
Joe and I met with a luxury car PR, and they look after like all luxury cars, and it was so interesting. I feel really excited. There's like so much we can do. Cars coming this year.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, we're going swimming, are we? She actually woke up, pulled out all the clothes from her drawers, and then was like, swim costume on.
You know, it's like the coldest day of the year.
So I did like this before.
Love that.
Really like.
Yeah.
So that was without the headshot.
I think that's a much better
that
example.
works a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think also like the variation of that from the style feels really nice. It doesn't feel that repetitive, and I like the white space on that.
So Sisterly, which is a women's supplement, which is going brilliantly well.
I love their branding.
Founders here, there are 3 founders, and you are hosting
Yes, a panel for
them at Harrods. We're just hearing about the science and the medical kind of proof behind the product.
Hi, nice to meet you. So we started Sisterly during COVID when, as 3 friends, we were just sharing tips and tricks. What are you taking for immunity, which was such a big word then and still is, energy, hormonal balance and beauty. So we decided we all shared the same frustration that multi-nutrients out there, you don't know what to take and what dose, and the whole space is really confusing. So we wanted to simplify that, and hence Sisterly was born. So the idea is this is your one and done multi-nutrient. It gives you all of your essential vitamins and minerals in one easy to take pre-dose sachet. And it's specifically formulated for women.
We were experiencing the juggle, that really like tricky time in your life with kids, aging parents, a career, and you're just feeling a bit rubbish. And you need to do more to support yourself. So for us, it was kind of like, let's solve that problem, not with antibiotics and steroid inhalers. Let's try and get some like natural ways to support the body.
Go on, Maya, show the crowd.
Oh, I touched it, I was close.
This is Maya's party trick. I can't do it, I almost killed her. Wow!
Welcome back.
Thanks.
How was your trip?
It was really good, thank you.
Yeah, any highlights?
I'd say New Year on Coco Cabana Beach is a massive bucket list tick, which I'm so glad that I did. It's nice to be back. I feel like had a nice break and we're in to go.
Well, we're having our bi-monthly D&I meeting where we talk about what we want to achieve for the upcoming months and how we can improve D&I across the team, content, etc. So yeah, a bit of a brainstorm. There's not really an agenda today, so we could just throw some ideas out there and see if anyone's got any feedback or anything like that. So I guess the only bit of real news for me is that we're hosting an iftar dinner.
Iftar basically just means breaking fast.
Okay.
So because it will be during the month of Ramadan, most of the women I assume will be fasting. Okay. We typically like break our fast or put on like a podcast or something, and we'll be listening to that because we're not allowed to listen to like music or anything during the month of Ramadan. So I usually do podcast or book, and we pray together. That's what we do as well.
So I am filming a styling reel. I'm doing 5 tonal looks, which is like a fail-safe way to look chic. I'm in the navy one. I am obsessed with this cape from COS. Isn't it so cool? And then I've got one of their like layering roll necks underneath. Then I did all grey with a coat from Weekday, an Almada cardi, and grey jeans. And then I found this amazing coat on sale at Arket. It's under £200. It looks so expensive and is really snug. With then this cream knit also from Arket. Cream tailor trousers from Dish. Cozy boots from Bobby's. This was kind of my like alpine chic après ski kind of vibe. These little hoods are just like everywhere at the moment. We've got a kind of brown burgundy with this Frankie Shop amazing vinyl jacket, a row knit, row frames, Frankie Shop tailor trousers, and I'll probably do my Kate brown boots for that. Maybe I'll go kind of slightly toned with like a burgundy. This one is from Daughter, and again, super
super nice. And then black cashmere blazer, this one's from Anina Bang. Or I found this quite cool leather bomber, that one's from, I think it's from Topshop on ASOS. Really good shape. And then I thought either doing that with kind of like a tracky a la Rosie Huntington Whiteley with a heel boot to kind of elevate them. I'm really excited to film it, share it with you all.
Hi, Polly having a conversation.
Yeah.
Because then it looks less like Polly has to look up and down.
If you've seen the TikTok wearing a diabolical outfit in front of your dad, then you will know, but we're going to spin it and have a bit of a work. Wearing a diabolical outfit in front of your boss.
I think you don't need a black trouser. I think it needs to be something that wouldn't match, like something really off-brand. This would that's funnier because it's just like so doesn't match. A grey skirt, because that is like bad.
I think we're overthinking this. She'll react anyway.
Work over the twist.
Lola India, take your place.
And I went, guys, I've got a funny story.
This is a joke, isn't it?
It's the way you look.
That you are! Oh my god,
If you saw someone wearing that in a street style pic at Copenhagen Fashion Week, you'd be like, yeah, cool.
Wave at her.
It's not bad enough to... I was like, I think this is a guy. But it's you! You can make anything look good.
Thanks, Georgie.
So that's a bit mean.
I think this might be my line, you know. It's like a whole ceremony, and it's like normally 2 or 3 nights before the wedding, and before the bracelets are put on, they're dipped in milk for like purity. Usually the bride will get her husband to be fiance's initials throughout her henna, and then on the day after the wedding, the boy comes to the girl's house. You all play games, and one of the games is to see if the husband can find the initials.
I love how you're saying boy and girl.
I know, because I'm like, this is so funny, like the woman and the man. It feels so official.
We're doing a wedding edition, Indian wedding special in February. So that was the content we put together. We're now going to talk about SL Man shoots. This is just to sort of consolidate what's happening, what's already lined up, and talk a bit about processes, see where Harvey can get involved. We've obviously got Maya.
Yeah, we've got Maya and Harvey.
And Harvey, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a bit different because it'll be more about like it'll be so street, just to make it feel a bit more like a day in the life. I just think it'd be nice to make it a bit different.
Sorry, you just said it smells really good in here.
Yeah.
Well, shout out for Encelade. I don't know if that's how you say it. And Toby, who is here today doing some planning with us, also wears it. And I spotted it, discovered it on Alistair Guy, who contributes to SL Man, at an event at Caviar Caspia, and I was like, oh my god, you smell insane. And it was this. And it's by Marc-Antoine Barrois. Anyway, it's really good. It's been a good day, it's been a good week. It was a gentle start to the year, it always is. But over the next couple of weeks, we've got a lot of strategy sessions. I always struggle to say that word, strategy sessions, brainstorming, planning, and I always feel a bit overwhelmed / excited, and I just wrote my notes for our senior team strategy session next week, and I feel quite ready for it. I'm getting some clarity as to what and how I feel 2025 is going to look and pan out. It's all coming together. And I got pranked by Volley's hair.
So good.
So good. Good, bring on 2025.
Time for a bit of things we love. First of the year. Can I actually just start, excuse me, with one, because this isn't on my list, but as you were talking about Isle of Paradise, I was remembering that I am obsessed with I'm sorry, I don't know product names of anything ever.
Don't worry about it.
Tall yellow bottle.
The Express Move.
That is what is it? The best tan product. I
Love
promise
it.
you, I'm obsessed. I've sacked off everything else. I love it so much. It's
Do you
so
sleep
good.
in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It really divides two camps. No, it's like you can shower it off in 30 minutes. Mine is 2 hours 45.
And I know you'll say,
No, honey, you do you.
I just don't believe them. I don't believe anyone that a tan can take in 30 minutes. You need 8 hours to
30
bake.
minutes?
Like, you come on. You need to cook your skin
You
in
don't,
that. Marinate
because-
your skin
no.
in that tan. Marinate your skin. Marinate it.
No, because it has a high level of tanning ingredients,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can shower off. Just saying. But plenty of people do sleep in it. But
It's such good
a lot of them can can be very drying on the skin, but that has a load of hyaluronic acid in, so it keeps your skin soft.
So half an hour.
Kasia, it's the best tan.
I need that.
Express tans. I brought Express tans to the UK from Australia because in Australia they were like a massive thing.
I had a spray tan in Australia in March, and spray tan is so big there, obviously, what you're saying.
Big.
And I did it for a wedding that I had there, and it's incredible.
Really?
2 hours, because obviously they go to the beach, you know, they need an instant tan.
That's
really.
interesting.
And I remember coming back and being like, this needs to be in the UK. We don't have it. Wow. And that loads of Express tans can be extremely drying because they just whack loads of like tan ingredients and it stinks and it cracks on the skin. But you need loads of other things in there to make it balance out and stay soft. But Express for life.
Like, love.
For life.
Please, can you make a travel size version of that one? Because you can't decant mousse.
She's going straight to the source.
Screw the rest of what we have planned for the show.
I'm requesting.
That is my personal request. Can you? Yeah. Mini version. Great. Thank you so much. Right, anyway, what about you? What are you guys loving? Kasia,
I've got such a long list and I brought them with me. So number one is I've just been on holiday, so my hair is really dry and the sun just, if you're blonde, the sun just, you know, it's like, so your hair's really porous. So someone suggested to me, I think it was my hairdresser Phoebe, but Malibu Sea, I think it's a really old school hair brand, just a little sachet. I used it yesterday, left it on for like 4 hours. My hair feels lush, so I would definitely recommend if you need any
Where did you buy it?
I bought it, I mean, this is a bit of a mental story. I'm obviously obsessed with my hair. And like, it's so much maintenance being this blonde. So when I was away last week.
It's a real session, okay. Let me just
sorry.
I was just asking for a retailer, but fine.
Basically, my hair was looking really bad on holiday last week. So I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to order this. I ordered it in South Africa and I got it sent to my hotel.
Fiji, I like it.
And when I got there, I think the woman at the desk was like, wow, this girl's a bit extra. But you can buy it anywhere. You can literally buy it on ASOS.
Okay.
So sorry, it was a long story.
Thank you so much for sharing that anecdote with me. Wow.
And then the other thing that I'm loving at the moment is Graham Norton's new book, which is called Frankie.
I've not read anything by Graham Norton.
He is actually such a good author.
Is he?
I can imagine it.
Yeah, they're really funny. He's written quite a lot. And my granddad's read it, and I've read it, my mum's read it, like we've all love it. Oh. But what I will say is, I was on the beach and I was reading, I was like, it's a bit odd when you get to like a saucy scene, and I'm like, my granddad's read this.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know,
sorry,
like,
what's it about?
I was like, my granddad's 96 as well, and I'm like, me and my granddad have read the same sex scene. It's basically about a woman that grows up in Ireland in, I think, like the 1950s, and she has a complete life change, and she moves to New York, and loads of stuff happens to her. I won't give it away, but if you liked Just Kids by Patti Smith, this is kind of in a similar vein, but completely fictional.
Okay, nice. With some sexy scenes.
With some sexy scenes that my granddad approves of.
There you go. Well, that is the only
go.
seal of approval we need.
Something to look forward to.
Exactly.
And one more thing.
One more thing. So I bought this last year, and it's the New Face, the little like microcurrent device. It's fab. I think it's really good. We were talking about this before the show, and you do have to use it every day. You have to be really.
She's high maintenance.
She's high maintenance.
She's high maintenance.
But it's quick.
And you do. It's 5 minutes every day.
Yeah, but you have to like get the serum and put the serum on, and then go, and then you've got to wait for the serum to sink in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the bit that they're not.
I have.
So you're like, come on, sister, I've got 12 more products to go.
And if you don't use the serum, I didn't read the instructions. Classic me. I was like, cool, turned it on. If you don't use the serum,
it's like a finger in a plug, isn't it?
You will literally burn your face.
Yeah,
so
you need the lubricant.
Use the serum.
Yeah.
So they're my 3 things.
But you said you used it.
I did use it for the wedding.
And it
was...
was...
Oh, my face was up here. It was incredible.
I remember the first time I had
no more.
The first time I had a face gym, like a sculpting facial. She did one side of my face, and I was like, this woman needs to get her hands off me. I was like, this is so unpleasant. And then she showed me a photo, and this eye was about 4 inches higher than this
really
side. And I was like, keep going,
Looking back at you was Quasimodo.
It's like, no way, it's 5 inches high. I'm obsessed. Jules, what are you loving?
Okay, I am loving The Magic. Ooh. I don't know if you ever read this.
I never read The Secret.
No, I didn't. So popular.
I skimmed The Secret. I was like, I get it, whatever, manifesting. Yeah. The Magic is actually gratitude practice, and it's a 28-day like step-by-step book. You have to read a chapter every day, but it's about counting your blessings. This is the second time I've read it, and I read it with a group of girlfriends, and we all hold each other accountable for reading it. And each chapter is a day. They're tiny chapters, but it teaches you to practice gratitude. But it's not like, oh, I'm really grateful that it's sunny today. It really makes you hone in. So I remember the first time I was like, I'm just really grateful that I've got running water. I'm really grateful that I've got a roof over my head. And crazy stuff happens when you read this book. It opens you up. It's like all about the law of attraction. But the first time I read it, all this nut stuff was happening, like big stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? Mama needs a round again.
Back to it. Yeah, we go again.
Come on, universe. I'm ready. I'm ready. My second, and I don't want you to get upset or offended.
Yeah. Ooh,
but
where are we going?
No, it's Uniqlo Heat Tech.
No,
Babe,
damn right.
She is
Love
in
this.
it.
Yeah, I
she
have
is
them.
in it.
I have them.
Oh my God.
Also,
and I
your
know
boots.
this.
I'm loving your boots.
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
fab.
Can we get a moment for them?
No, but wide legs in winter,
yeah,
it can be drafty. It can be drafty.
I have discovered that this week.
But don't run in them. It really backfires because then you stop and you're like, oh wow,
No, that's
I'm really
true.
overheating. Yeah.
There is no danger of me running in anything, so that's fine. But full SheerLuxe seal of approval on that. Like,
Yeah,
you've got to do what you got to do.
They are just incredible, and even like if you work from home, oh.
Yeah, I'm wearing. Actually, no, this is H&M one, but I've got a long sleeve. You mean you've got a layer?
Yeah.
Great. Was that everything from you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much. Can I give you some?
Yes, please do.
Outside of my Isle of Paradise tan that I love. What have I got? Trini's podcast is back. Have either of you listened to her podcast?
No.
I haven't.
It's actually so, I mean, I say actually, like there's no reason it wouldn't be so good, but it's called Fearless.
Okay.
She gets really good celebrity guests. She talks about being fearless and times in their life when they have sort of felt the fear and done it anyway. And first one back is with Judi Dench. I've listened to her this morning.
Wow.
She gets really, really
Amazing.
good people. I really recommend it. It's really, she's got such a kind of dulcet tone, Trini. It's very, it's soothing and it's...
She's a great presenter anyway,
Great
isn't she?
You could listen to her forever, couldn't
Totally.
you?
It's really, really
Yeah.
good. It's a bit like How to Fail.
I love How to Fail.
Yeah, it's got that sort of
Love
energy
How
to
to
it,
Fail.
but it's
Yeah.
a bit kind of, it's a bit more maybe like, what's the word? Contemplative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reflective. Anyway,
Yeah.
I really recommend it. I've also just finished a book called All Fours by Miranda July, which was a pretty big book last year. I'm slightly late to the party, but I really recommend it.
Okay.
It's about a woman in her 40s who she sort of decides to to go on a trip, and basically, I don't want to give too much away, but the kind of trip goes a bit awry, and I suppose she technically has a bit of a midlife crisis and a sexual awakening, but a lot of sexy scenes. Your grandpa would
My
like this
granddad
book.
would love it.
He would really like this book. And
I'm just going to look at the four corners of the room.
I'll get him a copy.
Yeah, definitely. Christmas present for next year for him. But it's really, really good. I think especially if I'm not at that stage of life, but if you are in your 40s, it's probably really, I think it discusses a lot of the themes that women at that stage of life kind of go through, and it's sort of helpful to see in advance what's coming ahead. So I really recommend that. And finally, I've got some new pyjamas from Tala. You know Grace Beverley's brand, Tala?
I've seen a lot of people posting new pyjamas from there this week.
It's comfortable, like beyond. Ribbed.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, so the pair I have, we'll put them on screen, they've got like little baby croissant motifs all over them. Ribbed, like, when it's like tight and ribbed and cozy and just like the sleeves are really
Have you
nice
washed
and long.
them?
Washed them, they wash perfectly, the tan comes out.
Of course it does, but
the
that's good
express
to know.
mousse comes out.
That's good to know.
Specifically yours. Yeah, they wash really well. I really,
good
really
for Grace
love them.
Beverley.
You know when you get home at the end of and you're like super excited,
You're excited
to put on that one thing.
Yeah.
I've got that with them. So yeah, there you go. Thanks, both. What fun. So lovely to have you here. Happy New Year. That is it for today. Thank you so much also to Val Garland and, of course, the SheerLuxe team. Next week, Louise Rowe is hosting the show with fabulous guests and more fashion and beauty. So we would love it if you could comment below in the meantime. Do give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye-bye.